next guest is one of the most creative and unique comedians out there. He got his start as a teenager on YouTube. Since then, he's toured the country and has stand-up specials on Netflix. And now you can add screenwriter and director to his list of credits. His new movie is called 8th Grade. Please welcome Bo Burnham. WCL. There you go. Bo, I've been watching you for a long time, man.
Appreciate it.
I watch you come up through YouTube, become a star, do your stand-up, and now you're writing, you're directing. Is this sort of the direction that you want to go with your career?
Yeah, I think so. I was tired of my own face and head. You'll all get tired of it soon enough. And I was just sort of tired of having to express what I wanted to express through myself. So expressing it through a 13-year-old girl was very not myself. So that's what I chose to do.
Yeah, let's talk about that. The movie's called 8th Grade. Why did you choose 8th grade out of all the grade levels that you could have chosen?
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's a grade that I hadn't seen talked about a lot, and I just think sort of culturally we're asking questions of kids a lot earlier. Sort of, you know, it feels like now by the time kids get to high school, they're blasé and over it, you know? And 13 is sort of, I feel like, become the real age where people come of age.
Right. What were you like in 8th grade?
I was a loser. I was a hammy weirdo with a bird's body. Yeah, it was not good. I was the kid walking around a pool party with my hands under my arms because I didn't have armpit hair, so I was really self-conscious. But I'm sure all the boys with armpit hair were also not happy about it. So, you know, nothing is good.
Right, it's an awkward time, and you kind of explore that in this film. But
what were you like in 8th grade?
Oh, I was so cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. Yeah. Hey, everybody goes through those awkward stages that you look back now and you're like, oh my goodness. The thing is Bo, you have most of your stuff documented on YouTube, which is an amazing difference between, like, say, we're about 10 years apart, how you grew up and how I grew up, and you kind of tackled that in this film, right? Teens today, it's a totally different childhood.
Yeah, and it's different to what I was. I mean, I'm 27, and, you know, the star of my film, she was born a month before I graduated 8th grade. And when I was on the internet in 2006, you know, you made a little song, you made a video, and you just posted it, and that's all it was. And now the internet seems to ask kids to live on it and really show everything about yourself, and it's really intense and vulnerable. And I just think there's a conversation about the internet that we should have that's a little more subtle than Russia. You know what I mean? Like, that's sort of the only way we talk about the internet is in terms of, like, Russia or big cultural movements. And I wanted to talk about the way the internet is affecting kids personally on a small level, the way they see themselves, the way they feel about themselves. Yeah.
I gotta say, you're striking a chord with a lot of people because it went to Sundance. Now there's already talk of Oscar buzz. This is your first film that you've written and your directorial debut, and you're talking about Oscar.
I'm going for the Teen Choice Award, that big surfboard with the, that's what I want. Who needs an Oscar with a giant surfboard in your living room?
When you were writing the movie, did it just flow? Did it just come out? So this is sort of like experiences that you've had, your friends have had through a girl.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't want to talk about my childhood. I didn't want it to be nostalgic. I wanted to talk. My disconnect from the movie is twofold. I was never a 13-year-old girl, and I was never a 13-year-old right now, and both of those things lend themselves to a specific experience. So really, she makes videos online where she talks about her life. So what I did is I just watched hundreds of videos of kids talking about themselves. The boys talked about video games. The girls talked about their souls. So it was like, all right, I'm gonna probably gonna want to write about girls because they just at that age they run a little deeper and are slight. It maybe evens off at some point, but certainly not in 8th grade. So yeah, that's what I was wanting to do. Again, I didn't want to be in when I feel like I hear young people talked about from adults saying, okay, I've been through childhood, now I'm gonna teach you about it. I wanted the movie to come to them, not the other way around.
Right. Do you think overall social media has helped or hurt our society?
I don't know. I mean, like, my feeling is that, like, people that speak with authority on the internet don't know the internet and aren't familiar with it. When 13-year-olds become 30-year-olds and become social scientists, I'll be very curious to hear what they have to say about it. But, like, until then, my thing is, like, I just want to take inventory of what's happening. The internet is confusing to me, and I'm on it a lot, and I don't. the movie is just about hopefully just saying this is how it feels. I'm not saying what it is or if it's good or bad. Like I don't want to be. The audience can decide how they feel about that.
Right. Well, the audience last night at the screening were laughing out loud in the theater.
Yeah.
What's the main? It's a powerful message. It's a funny message. You kind of use your comedic timing to kind of work both.
Well, it's 8th grade. I mean, 8th grade is horrifying and funny and weird, and you feel all those, and that's just hopefully the movie just feels like 8th grade, which is can be a comedy or a horror movie or a drama or all those things.
But you wanted it to be like real life. You didn't want it to be like this fairy tale. They make a lot of movies that are like, oh, this person is super special because they're whatever. They're super smart. They're the best in their class, and that's why they make a movie about them.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Yeah, or they have to be really overly articulate. There's a lot of kids in movies that, like, in order to sympathize with them, they have to speak like a poet or something. And the story of being a kid is being inarticulate. I mean, I didn't say a complete sentence until I was 22, truly. So I wanted to do a story about someone who's struggling to articulate themselves, and like she doesn't need to have like an interest in photography to be worthy of love. She can also be figuring it out and not knowing who she is yet.
Right. Elsie Fisher, young actress that plays the star. I love this. You cast her. She does a great job in the movie. Then she goes back to high school and she doesn't get a role in her high school play.
Yeah, this is what happened. It's incredible. Which is so she graduated 8th grade. A week later, we started filming, and then a week after production, she went to high school and called me really upset because she didn't get into her school play. So I promised I would drag him publicly. So Mr. Donia from Thousand Oaks High School, you're not good at your job. All right.
There you go. Good luck with the movie, and congratulations, Bo.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
You can see Bo's movie, 8th grade, July 20th. Go check it out. More Windy City Live coming up next.